awesome KimC here. How can we not be wonderful? If you guys don't know, KimC here, she actually featured me in, what did you call it again? I forget what you called it.
Shout Out Sunday.
Shout Out Sunday, yeah.
That's the one.
That catchy ass name. She did a Shout Out Sunday of just, cool streamers, cool YouTubers, stuff like that, people that she enjoys watching and that she gets on with, And she put me on there and I was super honored. And so I was like, well, I need to have her on mine because she's fucking amazing too. So the first question I'm going to cover here is some of your favorite things about being a content creator. Go.
Being able to stream whatever shit I like within reason.
I was going to say, what kind of shit are you trying to stream then?
well, I played Hitman the other day, right? No, just...
I like killing things,
Basically, I like to stream a lot of RPGs. So it's games like Alice, Madness Returns. You've got that in the background there. The other games I like to stream are Destiny. That's pretty cool. I also like to stream. There's a lot of FIFA as well. I like a lot of football.
Really?
Maybe it's just a British thing. I don't know. And just random stuff. I mean, there's a lot of indie games as well that I've just discovered and found. And I found that gets sometimes a better response than like the sort of bigger mainstream games, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can understand that. Because people usually have their, like the big YouTubers and stuff that are always covering like the mainstream games and things like that. And so I noticed that I'll do that same thing where I usually end up watching like Jacksepticeye's playthrough of something. But if someone's covering like a game that I haven't seen or an indie game, then that will tend to bring me to their channel more. So I can understand that.
Jacksepticeye is a friggin' legend. That guy is just a friggin' comedian. He's amazing.
He is so amazing. He's absolutely one of my favorite YouTubers in the world. Do you feel that it is good or bad to be a woman in our industry of like content creating, YouTubing, streaming, gaming, what have you? Just in what we do you feel like it's good or bad to be a woman?
I think in general, I think it's pretty good. I don't think there should be a fine line whether you're a man or a woman and you feel like gaming. I know that the majority of the let's just say gaming community just doing their thing, and if they enjoy that, then fair play. I'm all for that, but I'm very much for it.
Okay, so you feel like for you it's a good thing to be part of it. It doesn't give you any kind of negative effects or feelings.
Only if somebody dislikes one of my videos, and I've only had one dislike so far since I started, so I must be doing something right.
Dang, yeah,
or something wrong. I don't know.
Right, for sure. Okay, well, are there any struggles that you feel you have to overcome by being a woman in the industry?
I'm not really too sure. I mean, I've watched, like I said before, like quite a few sort of girl streamers. So I've watched 8-Bit, and she comes from obviously not my neck of the woods. Maybe somewhere like sort of like near Finland or Russia or something, and she just plays her games, gets on with her shit. But then again, there's another lady who I was watching called Susie Lou, and she's one of these people who like she'll play it and then like she'll do like a live stream and she'll be like, well, hey, like why are you sort of being like negative towards me? All I'm doing is just doing what I wanted to do and what I enjoy. I'm just playing the game, having a general chit chat, and you guys get to see the gameplay. And some people feel like that they don't want to see women in gaming because they feel, like I said before, it's more of a sort of male orientated fan base. But you know what, they're just gonna have to deal with it, and we're here to do what we gotta do. If we enjoy gaming, then awesome.
I'm with you. It does raise another question for me though. I mean, why do you think it is? Well, at least for me, I haven't been able to come across any women YouTubers that are at the level of, people like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. Since we were talking about them, like, how come you think it is that we don't see women at that kind of status level? What do you think it is that's keeping that from happening?
I think personally there's not enough shout outs happening. So like, for example, obviously like with you and myself, in order for us to grow our, and I'm just going to do it, YouTube empire, it's very difficult to start off at first being a woman, because obviously people are very skeptic. They might think you're very girly and stuff like that, but and they want to see sort of great gaming content. And I think if you can bring a great fantastic personality with great gameplay and you're interactive with your fans from that beginning level, then I think you're pretty much gonna hit a sort of like hit the ground running. But I think in order for women to kind of grow on YouTube, it would be nice, and I'm just going to put it out there, if a big YouTuber would give somebody a shout out, but I guess the only way to kind of grow with YouTube and in order to build your fan base is to kind of collab with people and maybe build up a few new fans that you didn't kind of have before, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Or I mean, even things like this, like if you could do like a one-on-one discussion like with somebody else, so you don't necessarily have to collab playing a game. I mean, collab could mean anything that you're doing together to kind of merge your two communities. But yeah, I absolutely see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's something that would be really nice to see, because you do see YouTubers shouting each other out, you know, bigger YouTubers and stuff like that, and talking about each other. And it seems like the only time they shout out a girl YouTuber is if it's their girlfriend.
Yeah, which is very cliche.
Yeah, just a little bit like, yeah, I'll shout her out because she's my girlfriend. It's like, well, why didn't you shout me out before? Like, fuck off with yourself then. I feel like a lot of women get a bad name too. I mean, no disrespect. When I Twitch, it's to interact with people, the streamers, and watch gameplay. I honestly can't stand the so-called booby streamers. I hate going to a woman's channel and just showing cleavage and not really playing, just being a drama queen. I don't know. That's just me, though. That is, you will get me off. You are going to trigger me. You will get me off on a whole rant. But that is the point of the Eyes Up Here segment, where we feature women who obviously care more about the content and interacting with people and the gameplay. And that's what's important, because that's the community that we need to create if we want to be taken seriously in the community, I think, because those women, in my opinion, are the problem. It's not the men who are looking at us wrong. They just have that view because of those women. The men are just human. If they see boobs, they're gonna be like, ooh, boobs, fantastic. You put Chippendales on Twitch and I'll fucking watch that shit. You know, we're human. It fucking happens. But yeah, I think that that's probably, in my opinion, the problem is those women.
So speaking about the Chippendales, I wouldn't be able to watch that because Endog wouldn't let me.
Oh no. He'd be like, no, no.
Here he is, look.
He says, damn right. Say hello, Endog.
Howdy.
There he is, guys. Ndog666, by the way. Go check him out on YouTube. Another fantastic YouTuber. Do you feel the view of women in gaming and content creation has changed, say, in the last 5-10 years?
In order to, like, if you receive followers, it seems a lot more easier now. Because obviously, you know, like I said, again, it depends on, like, your personality and, like, the community that you currently have built up within your followers and, like, the games that you play.
Yeah. Okay.
So it definitely seems a lot good.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like it's definitely changed a lot. I mean, I remember back in the day, you know, when we were little and we were playing video games and things like that. And, you know, all the other boys are like, you can't play with us. You're a girl. You don't know how to play. Like, you're not good. And I'm like, bitch, let me show you what good is.
I'm going to beat you.
What would you like to see done about the women who make it about their soft core appeal or begging for money? What would you like to see done about that?
To put some damn clothes on, that's for sure.
Well, all we can do
I
is
would probably
say,
ask. I would probably say that I know that Twitch, to begin with, had a very sort of loose kind of opinion on women wearing what they wanted to wear. But then obviously, you know, there were people who were putting on or pressing like the report buttons, or like, you know, I don't want to see that shit on my stream, or, you know, I don't want to watch them trying to like give away their dignity kind of thing, because that obviously you don't want to see that stuff. You're in there for the chat and you're in there for the game.
Yep.
But I think what they're doing now is they're starting to crack down on a lot of that, and that's basically what they should be doing, you know. But you know, Twitch has their views on different things, and I think cracking down on that is definitely something that they should do.
Do me a favor, don't have your webcam bigger than your fucking game. Don't be ripping your shirts down the fucking middle and having your boobs pop out and, like Kim said, having almost a nip slip. You know, and don't sit there and just like giggle and like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. If you don't know what you're doing, don't play the fucking game. Like, I don't want to see someone who doesn't know what they're fucking doing. So, I know I was reading an article the other day during one of the padded room segments, and I know that the woman who was being interviewed was saying that she's not really sure how long age-wise we can stay in the industry, and I know we talked about this a little bit, but it seems like guys, as long as, you know, they're salt and peppered and bashing, you know, and, you know, have good content, they could stay in it for as long as they want to. But you don't seem to see women over the age of 30 really in the gaming sphere very frequently. So what is your view on how long you think women would stay relevant in our industry right now as far as being a streamer or a YouTuber?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think, if I'm completely honest, I think women are going to be around in gaming for a really long time. I mean, I was watching some esports the other day. Actually, I think it was even on Twitch,
Yeah.
and they had a whole team of girl gamers, and I was like, sure, that's pretty cool because in that kind of industry, it's very male dominated.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you sort of look at the amount of girl streamers on Twitch that have a very, very, very big following, so like for example, if you have there's a lady I watch, and she's called Miss Rage, and she has something like 334,000 followers. And I think, she must have been around quite a long time to obtain those followers. As someone like myself, I think, if I'm completely honest, I think I may have left it a little bit too late. Well, I'll say too late, kind of late-ish, because obviously, ideally, I should have started maybe, say, like 9 years ago when I was like 21. And I think that probably would have been between my prime kind of thing. So between 21 and maybe like 29, something like that. But even though like the age that I am, I still don't find it like that difficult. And you know what, so be it. If I'm going to reach obviously I'll be 31 this year. If I want to keep doing it, then that's cool. If people want to watch an old fart like myself, I have no complaints about that.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I was reading that, the first thought that came to my head was, well, I mean, women haven't really been prominent in streaming and YouTubing until the last few years, that it's actually like built up and become a big thing. I'd say the last decade or so, that now we're finally being considered as, credible content, now that gap's been closed that we were talking about before. It's going to be very interesting to see how it develops, and as we all age, what age limits kind of the viewers drop off. It's like, all right, bitch, you're pooping your pants in your damn adult diapers. It might be time for you to fucking knock this shit off. I mean, you do not look 30 years old by any fucking means. I would definitely put you at around 21. So, I mean, I think it all just depends on how you look and how you act, not your actual age. It doesn't even really matter how you look. I mean, as long as you're entertaining to me and you're giving me good content, I'll watch anyone, no matter how old they are. It could be a grandma. If anything, that would make it probably funnier. Just see this little old wrinkled lady just like, this son of a bitch is gonna poke me in my ass. Like, could you imagine?
And when she gets scared, her teeth will fall out.
Yeah. She gets scared and spits out her dentures. Like, that would be fucking hilarious.
I would pay donations for that.
Kind of talking about your channel a little bit, do you have anything exciting in the works or coming out soon that you can tell us about?
I'd like to do some Twitch collaborations. That's something I've considered doing. I'd also start doing like some creative stuff. That would be pretty cool, because I used to do like a lot of drawing and things like that. So maybe what I might do is like buy some like arts and crafts and try and maybe do something on that, maybe stream it. If somebody wants to watch it, I'm all for that. That's cool. If they don't, then they can just listen to the music instead of watching me sort of waffle on. It's fine. I think in terms of my YouTube, I think I mentioned to you earlier, I was a bit sort of conscientious about doing like reviews, because obviously, there are a lot of sort of over hypercritical people that may have a completely different opinion to mine, but YouTube is a completely harsh critic, and they'll just have to take me as I am, I guess. So there's that.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where YouTube is meant to be that way. So the more controversial your video, the more popular it's going to be too. So I think gaming reviews would be a good thing. I would love to see you do game reviews. And if you have critics, well, again, like you said, they can just bugger off. We really don't give a damn. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the view. You can go fuck off with your damn self. I know we were talking earlier about, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, some of my favorite YouTubers. What are some of your favorite streamers on Twitch or YouTubers?
Would probably be Miss Rage. She's quite a big streamer. She does a lot of CS:GO and IRL. When I say IRL, she's just there like fiddling around with makeup, which is pretty cool. Oh, what's her name? Lady Devon. She's quite a big streamer. She does a lot of like Resident Evil, Outlast 2. And I think they're both partner streamers anyway, so there's that. Megabuster1986, he's a quite cool dude. He's from Australia.
Yeah, Megabuster.
I think that pronunciation, I think that pronunciation of me trying to do an Australian accent probably just went to shit because I'm not very good at it. Put another shrimp on the barbie.
I come out English when I try Australian, so it's worthless. I'm not even gonna try. I will ship to the EU, yes. If it will let me, I will
I think
ship
on
it
YouTube, again, like we were discussing earlier, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, they're pretty cool. And the Game Grumps, they're quite entertaining as well. They make every game into like some sort of like comedy and stuff, like a drama.
What is most important to you being a part of this world and these communities? What's the biggest part of it for you?
I think the most important thing about it is interacting with my viewers, because after all, at the end of the day, I'm here because obviously they put me here, and they're very supportive, and I always get my regulars in, which is damn awesome. And I think it's always nice to have new people into the community so that I can introduce them to the community and be like, hey, like, how's it going? How's your weekend been? And then you'll find that, like, they keep coming back because obviously they love your personality and they like the games that you kind of play, which is good.
Yeah, so that interaction is what you like the most, or that's what's most important to you, is to have that interaction.
Absolutely. And I find as well, like, if I interact with my subs on YouTube, that helps as well, because I know there's many big YouTubers out there who might have, like, I don't know, 60 million subs or whatever, and they just don't have time, obviously, to respond to everybody. I think that the most important thing about being a small YouTuber is you can connect with that certain group of people and get back to them, and they really appreciate that, because obviously they take time out of their day to come watch your videos, so it's all good.
So then, on that note, say you did get to that point, and you did get to that really popular point, and you couldn't do that interaction and the part of it that you love, if that's the most important part of it to you, how do you think that's going to affect you if you got that big?
I don't know, but I'd have to pay a lot of people to respond to a lot of messages.
Do you think it would negatively affect you not being able to talk to people like that anymore, or interact in the same way?
Possibly. I mean, you physically just couldn't keep up with that number of people. So, I mean, you'd obviously be able to get back to like a few, but you would in the long term struggle, because if you kept growing like a really big YouTuber like PewDiePie or somebody like that, you just wouldn't be able to fit it into your day. You'd be sat at your computer for years trying to get back to everybody.
It's like, I was talking to someone earlier today, and I won't say any names, but I was telling him, I said, hey, I'm sorry I saw this message late. I check my Twitter stuff in the morning, and sometimes I'll do it at night. And he's like, oh, that's okay. I check mine all day throughout the day, usually when I get to about 70 notifications. And I'm sitting there going, if I did that, I wouldn't be doing anything. I would be on Twitter all day. Like, I don't know how people do that. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm editing, I'm putting all this stuff together with you, we're coordinating things, I'm doing my streams, I'm putting stuff up on YouTube, and, my actual life, which, believe it or not, guys, I do have one. It's there. It's hard to see, but it's fucking there. And I'm just like, I don't know how I could do all that and then constantly be on Twitter. That's why I, like, set apart a time of my day to, like, do everything. Do you kind of do that, where you have parts of your day or parts of your week that you hollow out for certain things, or do you just kind of wing it?
If I'm completely honest, I think a typical kind of day for me is I wake up, the first thing I do is always reach for my phone. I've got a very bad habit of not switching off my phone, so maybe that's why my previous one broke, I don't know. But I'm always straight onto the Twitters and reply back to as many people as I can who decide to follow me. So follow them on their Twitch, follow them on their YouTube. That's always a big important thing for me. Then I'll go to work, I'll check it sort of momentarily through the day. I'll come home, I'll eat, and depending on my offline days, I'll just do something like creative. So I'll just edit stuff together, or I'll do a YouTube video, and I'll just follow some more people. So I try and keep it sort of 50-50, but then I got to remember that obviously I'm just like everybody else, and I have like a relationship with my husband, so I have to make time for him as well.
As far as the stuff goes that I know we talked about, if you did get to that point, how would that make you feel? But on that same note, do you plan on making this a career? Do you plan on, doing things like that? Like, is that something that you're reaching for? Or is this just more of a hobby for you that just, you happen to be fantastic and we just love you so much that it just worked out this way? Or
I would like to do this as a full-time job, but again, work and the relationship have to take priority over this. It did start as a hobby. I do enjoy it. There are times where I get frustrated where I have like technological issues, or like my mic isn't working, or like my music plays up, so there's that.
Welcome to the crib.
Yeah. or I struggle to think, so what game do I fancy playing today? So there's that. But yeah, I mean, ultimately the end goal is to make a living and become a big Twitch partner, or be partnered with YouTube. But I guess we're just going to have to sort of see how they all pans out in the end, I guess.
You are definitely going to be around the scene for a long time, and I think we're going to see a lot of cool stuff come from you, which obviously we already have. I think it's one of those situations. I like that the partnership is so far out as far as a grasp goes. It's something that you really have to reach for and you have to dedicate yourself to get to, because that's what makes it so important and cool when you do get there. But I think people tend to they let it mess with their head when they don't get the results that they wanted. They can actually hinder themselves. Like, it's that saying, you are your own worst enemy. Thank you so much for being on, KimC. Everyone, make sure that you give her a follow on her Twitch, and make sure that you give her a sub on her YouTube. Those names are right up above you here, and if you want to hit her up on Twitter, her Twitter name is up there as well. Again, thank you so much for being here, Kim. That was super fun. We really loved having you.
Oh, fantastic stuff. Well, many thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.
Just swinging it all about.
Yeah, just flipping it around in circles. Is that how it's going? I don't know. We're talking about my ponytail, you nasty minds, you dirties.